Tonight on CTV News at 6, the goal heard from coast to coast to coast.
Played through towards Kyle Lauren! It's Kyle Lauren with the goal!
Canada scores its way into the history books as Edmontonians join watch parties all across the city.
The world here in Canada is fantastic. Like, obviously it'd be awesome to be in like Toronto or Vancouver, but here even the vibe is pretty awesome.
Plus, drivers in Fort McMurray, fed up with potholes, take matters into their own hands.
All we're doing all day, man, until there's no more asphalt.
And tent caterpillars are encroaching on campers at several Alberta campsites.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling when they're just all around you and you can't even help but walk all over them.
After a cloudy and wet week, just in time for the weekend, we get some sunshine and some warmer air rolling in.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Nariman Issa.
Good evening. History was made on the pitch today with Canada hosting its first ever FIFA World Cup game. The men's team took on Bosnia and Herzegovina, scoring their first goal on home soil.
Kone driving forward, played through towards Kyle Lauren! It's Kyle Lauren with the goal!
Kyle Lauren scored in the 79th minute of the game. He had just come onto the field as a sub moments before. Now that tied the game at 1 apiece, which would be the final. Canada earned a point in the draw, and that's the first point ever for the men's team at a World Cup. All this happened thousands of kilometers away. The excitement rippled right across the country, including here in Edmonton. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has the story.
These students from St. Nicholas Junior High School are excited for Team Canada's first World Cup game on home soil. They have another reason to cheer. This is the former school of team captain Alfonso Davies. An injury kept Davies off the pitch today, but that didn't keep these young fans down.
I'm just excited to watch Canada play.
I just want to see Canada go in the finals, probably against France.
The school's soccer academy will be watching all of Canada's World Cup games. Their instructor, Dino Bazzarelli, says cheering for the team on home soil gives his students hope that they will one day play in soccer's biggest tournament.
There's light at the end of the tunnel now. The kids, we used to just watch the World Cups. Canada wasn't participating at that point. Now we're watching Canada, and one of our own is the captain of the men's team.
Cameras caught another familiar captain in the stands. Connor McDavid was cheering on Canada in Toronto, while more soccer fans here gathered in a place where they usually cheer for McDavid.
I've actually been to BMO Field, so it's kind of like a bit of memories.
The world here in Canada is fantastic. Like, obviously it'd be awesome to be in like Toronto or Vancouver, but here even the vibe is pretty awesome.
Very cool.
It's amazing.
It sucks they couldn't be here, but it's whatever.
Soccer fans across the city are excited to see Canada in the World Cup, even if they are supporting other teams in our group stage.
We have two teams to cheer for right now, and they're playing against each other, so it's kind of tough right now.
Bosnia and Herzegovina fans are conflicted, but overjoyed about seeing both of their teams play in the World Cup, Bosnia's first appearance since 2014.
They're both in my heart, so it's very hard to decide, but I'm born Bosnian, so I have to cheer for now.
At the end of this, it's either Bosnia or Canada, no other team.
Canada's next World Cup matchup is against Qatar, June 18th. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
And head to ctvnewsedmonton.ca for a list of watch parties happening in the city. If there's a watch party you don't see on our website, you could also let us know about it. Police say there were no injuries after a school bus slid into a ditch on Yellowhead Trail. The school bus crashed into the ditch near 50th Street. A new bus was brought in to transport most of the passengers. Police say while a few kids were taken to hospital for precautionary reasons, no injuries were reported. Westbound traffic was temporarily disrupted. It is now moving in both directions. Drivers in Fort McMurray say they're fed up with the condition of the only highway in and out of town. Some locals say if the province won't fix the potholes on Highway 63, they'll do it themselves. As CTV's Matt Woodman explains, it prompted action from the province and a warning from the RCMP.
A little stretch, here's one bump here. Oh, yes. More than 45,000 drivers travel on Highway 63 through Fort McMurray every day. Many say they're frustrated by the number and size of the potholes covering the only road in and out of the municipality.
I've never seen them like this. You're driving like this.
Allison Fifield is one of them. She was supposed to drive to Edmonton in late May until a pothole on Beacon Hill ended her trip early.
I thought the frame of my car and everything went down in this hole. Like, my rim is bent, it's cracked, my tire won't hold pressure.
Since April, we've been talking to the government, talking to the officials. You guys have to figure it out. And no one is even listening. It's all empty promises.
Local businessman Mohammed Tarabin decided to take matters into his own hands. He says it took 3 days to organize a team of 80 volunteers who are working together to patch the road themselves.
All we're doing all day, man, till there's no more asphalt.
It's very admirable what he's doing, but I also feel like it's not their responsibility.
Highway 63 maintenance is a provincial responsibility. Alberta's transportation minister says he's heard about the volunteers.
We understand that they're frustrated, but we are encouraging them to make sure that the professional road builders can go out there and do their job, and because we want everybody to come home safely.
The volunteers have also caught the attention of the RCMP, which says it will be keeping an eye on the group. Police say being on a roadway poses significant risks, and there could be tickets issued for impeding highway traffic.
That's the main thing, is safety. We just want to make sure that no one gets injured. I think it does send a message to the province for certain.
Dreeshen says, coincidentally, crews started repairing the roads today.
They will see the highway maintenance contractor out there today and with the better type of asphalt to be able to repair those potholes.
I'm not too sure where they are, but they're not here for sure.
The province says it's working to transfer authority of Highway 63 through Fort Mac to the municipality. Councillor Don Scott hopes that will be finalized this summer.
We're just so much more responsive, and we hear from residents firsthand, so we're in a much better position to deliver those services.
So frustrated drivers can put down their shovels and get back behind the wheel. Matt Woodman, CTV News, Edmonton.
The province is creating a panel to come up with a dollar figure for the estimated cost of Alberta separation. The UCP government has ordered an independent analysis of the economic impacts of secession. Now, Alberta's finance minister says voters need, quote, clear and credible information so they can make an informed decision on the fall referendum. The University of Calgary's School of Public Policy will conduct the study. An advisory panel led by economist Jack Mintz will provide input and consultation. Political scientist Lori Williams says she hopes for critical analysis of the panel's numbers, as well as figures being distributed by others.
There will be critical assessment of the outcome of this panel. There will be critical assessments of the figures that have been produced by Alberta Prosperity Project and Stay Free Alberta. And it's going to be those critical assessments of the data that's put forward that I think will be more helpful to Albertans.
A final report is expected late this summer. The referendum is October 19th. Edmonton's infill issue has caught the attention of a local MP. Kerry Diott is hosting an infill-related town hall in Griesbaugh this weekend, even though he has no say over local zoning bylaws. CTV's Evan Kenny has more.
The never-ending conversation around controversial infills continues this weekend. Edmonton Griesbaugh Member of Parliament Kerry Diott is hosting a town hall tomorrow.
We've had a lot of people RSVP for this, which is good. I truly believe that people need to be heard on this.
The former Edmonton City Councillor no longer has a direct say on this municipal issue. However, Ottawa does spend money to help build new homes. Diott says he's acting as a mediator.
I want to bring people together and maybe find some solutions, because the way I look at it, if my constituents, federal constituents, have a problem, I have a problem.
One group against infills wants to see different levels of government work together on this issue. It's not against all infills, but it does have problems with certain kinds of developments.
People who live in the neighborhoods and who experience the day-to-day reality of what infill feels like, they feel the disconnect across those programs more than anyone.
Meanwhile, a pro-infill group believes this is not an MP's problem to solve.
It's really important that
We take seriously the fact that local problems should be solved at a local level.
I plan to attend, and simply because I'm always willing and want to hear from residents, hear what they have to say. So for me, it's an opportunity to hear the folks.
The area's councillor is treating this as another opportunity to hear from people in her riding and has no issue with a federal official hosting the meeting. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Spruce Grove's NRG City Cactus Rats have been given an ultimatum by its league. The team's new ballpark on the outskirts of Spruce Grove has been under construction for more than 3 years. Last week, the Cactus Rats organization said it planned to play its home opener in the park with no fans. Fan access would be rolled out in phases in the future. The opener ended up being postponed because of rain. Now, the Western Canadian Baseball League says the ownership group must provide a plan to bring the Metro ballpark up to standards by this Tuesday. Games scheduled for the next 3 days have been moved or postponed. The WCBL says it will decide if the stadium is usable during a meeting Tuesday night. Campers may encounter some unexpected creatures this weekend. Some Alberta campgrounds have been taken over by tent caterpillars. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports, if you want to cancel your trip this weekend, it's too late for a refund.
I was really excited. Like many Albertans, the Bodkers camped to connect with nature and unwind. But when the family pulled into their campground last night, they considered turning around.
There was thousands of them, like all over the ground, all over signs, and I was like, I don't know if we're camping this weekend.
They're a little unsettling when they're just all around you and you can't even help but walk all over them.
10 caterpillars are busy chewing away at the leaves in Pigeon Lake Provincial Park, as they've been for some time, apparent in many areas.
The stems are all sitting there, completely empty.
On Thursday, Alberta Parks issued a notice about the caterpillars here, saying because this is a naturally occurring and intermittent phenomenon, they aren't able to provide advance notice of the conditions and will not provide a refund.
It is what it is. You're camping in nature. This is their home, right?
Numbers were up last year, and so when the population builds, it sort of explodes.
Entomologist Ken Fry says these outbreaks happen in cycles, roughly every 10 years. And while it may seem they are destructive, it's a normal part of nature.
When you get a little bit of thinning, that's good for a forest, right? It helps keep it vibrant and rich.
He does say in urban areas, trees may not be able to survive the defoliation, so homeowners may want to battle back. Here, the best course of action could be taking a page from these kids. This one's yellow, and this one that Remy's holding, it's colored white. They're really cool. They're soft. In July, the caterpillars should turn to moths, says Parks Canada, and infestations can last 3 to 6 years. Reporting from Pigeon Lake, Nicole Weisberg, CTV News. There's a health warning for a beach area west of Edmonton. Alberta Health Services says there's an elevated level of fecal bacteria at Camp Yawokas Beach on the north side of Wabamun Lake. AHS says people should not swim, wade, or drink the water. Coming into contact with the water could lead to a stomach illness or skin, ear, and eye infections. The advisory is in effect until further notice. Work on the Yellowhead, delayed by rainfall last week, is now scheduled to begin tonight. The Yellowhead will go down to one lane eastbound near 107th Street. The closure will begin at 10 p.m. and will last until Monday, June 15th at 6 a.m., weather depending. It says other closures in the area will continue through July. The closures are part of the Yellowhead Trail freeway conversion plan. Well, pet lovers will be gathering at Buena Vista Park this weekend to celebrate the special bond between people and their furry friends. The Edmonton Humane Society is hosting their annual Pets in the Park Festival on Sunday. It features a range of entertainment like wiener dog races, a cat cafe, and a beer garden. Visitors can also enjoy food trucks and other family-friendly activities. It's the Humane Society's largest fundraiser of the year, and all the money goes directly to the animals.
So the festival kicks off with our walk run fundraiser. This year we're aiming to raise $34,000 in recognition of our 34th anniversary. And all of the funds that are raised go back into the programs that we offer at the Edmonton Humane Society. So taking care of the animals that come into our care, providing veterinary care, behavioral support, all of the things that they need to be able to move into their new families.
To register for the fundraiser or to donate, you can go to edmontonhumanesociety.com. All right, first check on the weather. We got to know, do the doggies and the cats, do they need raincoats along with their human partners?
No, yeah, that has certainly been the case the past couple of days, and it will be again next week. But for this weekend, sunshine. Throw on some sunscreen when you head out there this weekend. Temperatures today hit 17 degrees for a daytime high, still below average. A little bit better than yesterday, though. 21, the average daytime high. We'll be in that ballpark tomorrow, 21 or 22 for a daytime high. It's currently 16 downtown and still a little breezy. 20, gusting to about 30, 35 kilometers per hour. You've got gusts north and south of the city closer to 40 kilometers per hour. It looks like the wind will die down this evening and should be fairly light through the day tomorrow. We do have some scattered showers that have been popping up off to the west. Those, as you can see, are tracking almost due south, so no rain in the forecast for this evening. And that cloud cover that you're seeing there sliding in from the east-northeast, it's all pretty thin, high-level cloud. It will keep us mostly cloudy, though, through the rest of this evening. By tomorrow morning, we'll start to see some bigger breaks in the cloud cover. We'll start the day again at about 8 degrees. Sunshine, light wind, and around 22 for a daytime high tomorrow. You look at the calendar map, you see Tuesday of this week, 22 degrees. That's the hottest it's been, or the warmest it's been the entire month. We have not been above 22, and we probably won't get above 22 tomorrow. But I think Sunday, Monday, we'll see temperatures into the mid-20s. More on that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Still to come, part 2 of our look back at the history of Edmonton's Coliseum.
And this is the last sound of the horn at Rexall.
From the final horn to the gutting of the interior, what is next for this iconic building?
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Edmonton's Coliseum has stood empty for the last 8 years. It was closed by the city in 2018. While it's quiet inside now, once upon a time in Edmonton, it was filled with rowdy crowds. Here's Matt Woodman with part 2, looking back at the Coliseum's history.
Rumor had it Team Canada's power play would be vicious.
The Canada Cup brought world hockey to the Coliseum in 1981.
Canada pounced early, scoring 5 goals in the first 10 minutes of the game.
The tournament returned in 1984 with Team Canada claiming gold.
The Rockets red.
In 1989, the NHL took over with its All-Star game.
Messier's alone, going in, he scores! We are thrilled to be in Edmonton this morning.
Well, the league's next wave of stars was chosen at the Coliseum during the 1995 NHL entry draft.
The Edmonton Oilers are proud to select from Prince Albert Raiders Steve Kelly.
The World Figure Skating Championships twirled through in 1996, while the Brier brought curling rocks and pebbled ice to the Coliseum 3 times. In 2009, the Roar of the Rings hurried through, with the curlers earning their chance to represent Canada at the Vancouver Olympics.
We've got a task at hand here. We've got 7 tough games ahead of us first, and then if we're fortunate enough to win, then I'll start realizing the dream come true.
Some tough games off the ice also came through. The Davis Cup was served up in 2017.
It's very cool. We got to see where the Stanley Cups were propped up, and you could still see the dust around them. As Canadians, we appreciate that a little bit more than I guess the Indian team would.
It was one of the Coliseum's final events before it shut down. Ground had broken on a new downtown arena in 2014, the future home of the Edmonton Oilers. For anyone who worked or played at the Coliseum, it was the end of an era.
Opening night, I was the dressing room attendant for the Cleveland Crusaders. There were no banners, not like there is now.
The final Oilers game was April 6, 2016.
And this is the last sound of the horn at Rexall.
I don't think there's any other city where the fans would still be sitting here. My gosh, we wish we could get out there and play for them, but we can't do that anymore.
The team, even Wayne Gretzky's statue, moved to Rogers Place.
We tip our hats to 44 years of champions.
In 2017, the CFR held its final rodeo there.
It has no practical use or reuse that is economically viable, and the council has agreed not to allow it to be reopened.
Before the city took control of the Coliseum in 2018.
It was a little upsetting, definitely, when finding out that it was going to close down.
In 2022, demolition was approved.
It's pretty crazy to see how torn down the whole building is, but it still feels just like it has so much character in it.
Furniture, equipment, and wires were removed.
Then we're going to tackle the hazardous materials. So asbestos, mold, lead paint, all of these things that were common in the 1970s.
The bright lights now dark, the roar of the crowd silenced. The Coliseum sits and waits for its demolition date.
Well, still ahead, a birthday bond. A group of women from around the world, all born on the same day, meet in our province.
It's about the power of social connectedness, of meeting others and connecting in very special ways.
Back to some sunshine and back into the 20s through the weekend. How long will that warm air stick around, though? The answer to that, the rest of your forecast, right after the break.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A group of women gathering in our province have one very specific thing in common. Each one of them has the exact same birthday, which is today. CTV's Kevin Green explains how an Australian researcher brought them together to celebrate.
For this group of women, turning 75 isn't just a birthday celebration, it's a reunion. Every one of them was born on June 12th, 1951. The women gathered in Canmore after traveling from across Canada and United States. What brought them together started with an idea from Australian psychologist Linda Gilmore.
It's about the power of social connectedness, of meeting others and connecting in very special ways.
After meeting a woman her age during a trip to Cambodia, Gilmore began searching for women born on exactly the same day as herself. The project has since connected women from around the world.
I've learned that we have some shared experiences, having been born around the same time, but of course we have such different experiences because of the families that we've grown up in, the various things that have happened to us.
For Airdrie's June Stevenson, yes, her name is June, that connection has led to friendships spanning continents. She's traveled across Europe with women she met through the project.
We learn so much about each other's cultures and backgrounds.
One of those friendships is with Margie Wiley from Washington State. The pair first met in Victoria years ago after connecting through the group.
Within 5 minutes, I felt like she was my sister.
The women share stories of lives that took very different paths but unfolded through many of the same historic moments. They witnessed enormous change for women, changes they say shaped who they are.
We've become way more independent than my mother's generation was. It wasn't that many years ago that women couldn't even have a credit card without a guy or buy a house.
And despite celebrating 75 years, none seem particularly concerned about getting older.
What I notice is we're all laughing and smiling and enjoying our life and know that it's not the end of it.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Canmore.
Of course, a happy birthday to them.
Yeah.
And this weekend.
And anybody else that's celebrating
I guess so, yeah. I should have been at the little brunch that they had. This weekend's supposed to be really nice. I was already looking up tea time.
There you go.
Just during commercial break.
It's actually been not bad trying to get tea times the last couple of days.
I know, right? People are scared of the rain.
There's what it looks like outside right now. River Valley Sky Cam's brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed Rider, it's free. You can see a couple different layers to the cloud cover. You get these lower clouds and then this high cloud cover that's streaming in from the east-northeast, and that's most of what we're going to see take over here through the rest of this evening. We'll show you that on the satellite map. It's 16 degrees right now. We'll get 17 for a daytime high. Earlier today, 16s for highs in Grand Prairie and Slave Lake. Fort McMurray made it to 17. Look at one of the warmest spots in the province today. High level, 21 degrees. It was 8 degrees warmer in high level than it was in Lethbridge this afternoon. Get some scattered showers here off to the west. There's your cloud cover that we were talking about sliding in from the east-northeast. That's on the backside of this big upper-level low. So you can see how everything's been swinging back in behind that low. That's been drawing in the cooler air. The thing, if you look out to the west, though, the thing that's going to happen this weekend is we're going to start to see that swing around and become more of a westerly flow as opposed to a northerly flow. So we keep the clouds overnight tonight. Watch how overnight and tomorrow morning they gradually start to move further to the east. And so we'll get some clearing tomorrow afternoon, maybe a few scattered showers in through parts of the foothills and up in the northwest corner of the province. And then Sunday, sunny with a few clouds. There is a slight chance for maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon on Sunday. I think there's a better chance off to the northeast, but I've put a slight chance in for Sunday afternoon. 16 degrees in Edmonton right now, as well as Grand Prairie. It's still 17 in Fort McMurray, 13 in Red Deer, where the wind has been gusting all day, still gusting to about 40. It's been even stronger in east central Alberta. Gusts have been 40 to 60 kilometers per hour through the day. It'll stay windy overnight tonight and through most of the day tomorrow in east central Alberta. But here in the Edmonton area, surrounding regions, wind will drop off later tonight, and you can see it stays pretty light right through the day tomorrow. So mostly cloudy skies this evening, some clearing tomorrow morning, sunshine, and after starting the day at about 8 degrees tomorrow, we get up to 22 in the afternoon. 25 Sunday, 25 again Monday. You get sunshine Sunday. As we said, slight chance of a spotty. That's not going to last long if we get anything at all. A little better chance for some thunderstorms late Monday, and then you can see temperatures after Monday drop back into the mid to high teens. Here's what we've been dealing with. That's replaced by this upper ridge that we were talking about off to the west. It's mainly focused on BC, but we'll get some warming from that. And then the cool air just slides back in, and that puts us back into a fairly unsettled pattern with daytime highs in the mid to high teens from Tuesday through Friday of next week. There is a little warm up after that, but yeah, get set for some more rain and some more cool temperatures next week. Enjoy the weekend, though. Temperatures in the low to mid 20s both tomorrow and Sunday.
Thank you, Josh. Well, still ahead, Canada putting its best foot forward.
It is the biggest sport in the world. It's bigger than the Olympic Games.
What hosting the World Cup could mean for Canada, from its international reputation to inspiring the next generation of players. Also, Elon Musk becomes the world's first trillionaire after SpaceX shares hits the markets. As we saw earlier, Canada's men's soccer team made history today, playing its first ever World Cup game on home soil. CTV's Adrian Gabriel explains how this tournament is a game changer for Canada.
Canada! Canada!
Brimming with national pride, nations united, allegiances divided. Fans have arrived by the thousands. These two fields, full of dreams, separated by more than 4,000 kilometers, have the power to unite a people. A soccer awakening is afoot. The World Cup is here, and Canada has been thrust under the spotlight of the global game.
It is the biggest sport in the world. It's bigger than the Olympic Games.
The most coveted tournament on the planet has touched down in the true north, strong and free. The significance is seismic.
To be present and to be in the moment.
Canadian Soccer Hall of Fame inductee Amy Walsh appeared in 2 Women's World Cups. She believes this is an opportunity for the entire country to put its best foot forward.
To show that Canada is diverse, not only in its people, and that it's unique and we're friendly and we're welcoming, but we're also tough and we're hard to play against.
Soccer is simply the most popular sport on the planet. The world is tuning in. Toronto is expecting at least 300,000 visitors to arrive from outside the city. More than 350,000 are expected to travel to Vancouver.
So many people visiting, traveling, and watching on the TV sets. They're going to see a brand new country that they just haven't seen before.
A tournament of this magnitude is already daring the country's youth to reach for the sky.
I hope Canada does well, so then that means the kids know that when we get on, we can do the exact same.
You've given your life to soccer. You played for Canada on 102 occasions. Results aside, what do you hope the takeaway is from this World Cup for Canada?
It's really about who we are and what our identity is as Canadians and how that's tied to sport. Is the trickle-down effect from it. So what it means for the next generations, that somebody else aspires to do that one day.
The beautiful game has landed. Canada has opened its door once again to the world. Soccer fans here and footy fanatics around the world have now set their sights on this tournament, including the 13 matches that will grace the pitch right here on Canadian soil. The hope is that the legacy will last a lifetime. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is overseas, first meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron. It's a crucial meeting ahead of the G7 that's being hosted by France next week. CTV's Mike Lecouture is in Paris and has more.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and President Emmanuel Macron were looking for areas of agreement ahead of the G7 summit in France. As Carney moves Canada closer to the European Union, the two leaders agreed to more collaboration on artificial intelligence and safe social media.
I would like to commend you, President Macron, for the decisive action that you are taking to protect children online.
And the two leaders agreed to do more on intelligence sharing. They're also both using strong language when describing the geopolitical instability.
Nous constatons que l'ordre international est fragmenté.
We note that the international world order is fragmented, says Macron, an echo of Carney's speech in Davos, where the Prime Minister called on middle powers to work together as the world's hegemonies become more aggressive. Now, Canadian officials who briefed reporters ahead of the G7 summit warned it could be difficult to get consensus on issues like a critical mineral value chain or government intervention against online harms.
The presence of Donald Trump is something that always leads to possible controversies. Will people get actual FaceTime, including our Prime Minister, with Donald Trump?
Now, Carney and Trump will have some FaceTime, but it's unclear if it'll be a full sit-down meeting. While getting a consensus could be difficult among the seven leaders, Carney doesn't think the group is fracturing.
I mean, there will be some issues where there are strongly held views by one of the G7 partners that, you know, are more extreme than others. And I'm not saying just one. I mean, each of us may have examples of that.
In French, Prime Minister Carney was even more specific, saying he doesn't believe it'll turn into the G6 plus the U.S., a statement that could be tested at next week's Leaders Summit in the French Alps. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Paris.
7 women were taken to hospital in London, Ontario after a car crashed through the wall of a gym this morning.
Based on the information that we have at this point, a vehicle entered the rear of the facility, breached the exterior wall, and entered an area where people were participating in a fitness class.
The police chief said 2 of the injured, including the driver, are in critical condition. He said there is evidence showing the vehicle accelerated into the building, though he did not say why. He expects criminal charges to be laid. SpaceX shares hits the NASDAQ today in an IPO, making its CEO Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. SpaceX executives rang the opening bell in New York while Musk applauded from Starbase in Texas.
I told people this. I said, look, we're probably going to fail, but, we should give it a try, because if we don't, if there's not a new company that enters space, we will never be a truly spacefaring civilization.
It's expected to be the biggest IPO in history. SpaceX has promised to establish a 1 million-person colony on Mars, create other outposts in space, and launch data centers into orbit. Now, to achieve those goals, it will need billions more than it currently makes from its rocket and satellite business. SpaceX lost billions of dollars last year. Well, Peruvian police say they took advantage of the FIFA World Cup fever to nab a drug trafficking suspect who is a big soccer fan. 2 police officers dressed up as World Cup mascots, specifically Maple the moose and Clutch the eagle, to bash down the suspect's front door. Police claimed the costumes would not look suspicious as they approached the suspect's home. The accused trafficker was caught and detained. Still ahead, a look at the lasting impact of the residential school system.
We can create an environment where mainstream Canadians are a lot more empathetic and understanding to what we have to endure as First Peoples in Canada.
A traveling exhibit hoping to inspire empathy sets up shop in our city. Also ahead, while a lengthy winter means you could hit the slopes at a popular Alberta resort well into July.
Wake up with us at CTV Your Morning Edmonton for the latest local news, up-to-the-minute weather, traffic updates, and lifestyle entertainment. There's no brighter way to start your day. CTV Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays 6 to 9. Watch live on Crave.
Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 71 cents to the U.S. dollar. Oil was down nearly $3, closing the day at just under $85 U.S. a barrel. Gold gained nearly $125. Over on the stock market, the TSX gained 266 points. The Dow Jones gained 353 points on the day. Imperial Oil has to pay $120,000 after a wastewater spill at its Kearl oil sands mine near Fort McMurray. Last year, Alberta's energy regulator laid 9 charges against the company in connection to the 2023 spill. More than 5 million litres of wastewater overflowed from a drainage pond. The company pleaded guilty to 1 charge and the others were dropped. Imperial Oil spent about $2 million remediating the area and said it had made equipment and training changes. The company was previously fined $50,000 for a wastewater spill at the same mine in 2022. A traveling exhibit now on display at Fort Edmonton Park is exploring the lasting impacts of the residential school system. Running for Their Lives was created by the Legacy of Hope Foundation. The exhibition explores both the history of residential schools and the ongoing impacts on Indigenous communities. It shares the stories of people who escaped and honors those who died.
It's an opportunity to educate mainstream Canadians on our history so that we can create an environment where mainstream Canadians are a lot more empathetic and understanding to what we have to endure as First Peoples in Canada.
The exhibit is running until September 7th. The province has approved funding for a drug that treats a rare lung disease. The drug is called sotatercept. It treats patients with pulmonary arterial hypertension. It's the first drug that treats the cause of the disease, not just the symptoms. The condition causes high blood pressure in the lungs and over time can lead to heart failure. It can affect anyone at any age, though women are twice as likely to be affected. About 270 Albertans will benefit from the new coverage. The province has approved a development plan for Fortress Mountain in Kananaskis country with conditions. Developers want to turn the former ski resort into a year-round destination that can accommodate more than 8,000 visitors a day. The province says it has approved the concept stage. Before granting land rights, several conditions need to be met. That includes relocating the planned mountaintop restaurant to the base area and removing references to motorized recreation. There also needs to be site-specific wildlife and fishery surveys and timelines for environmental and emergency management plans. Adequate Indigenous consultation is also required. Banff Sunshine Village is reopening for a short summer ski season. The mountain says thanks to a record season of snow, it still plans to open from next Saturday until July 5th for 16 days of skiing. The plan is to open 2 chairlifts if conditions permit. Sunshine Village says it will update its plans as it gets closer to that June opening date, including which terrain will be open. 34 new officers and 2 new canines are officially joining the ranks of the Edmonton Police Service. The latest EPS recruit class had a grad ceremony today. The new officers will be working in Edmonton and Lacombe. 2 police dogs are also ready for duty. Pablo will work as a patrol service dog, while Kuma will be a human remain detection dog.
Due to the hard work between the dog and the handler, it's a long, strenuous summer, but to see them get to the end is gratifying for me.
Yeah, it's a surreal moment. So I'm pretty excited with my classmates. We've been training for 6 months, and now we're excited to hit the streets.
Police say the new officers and canine teams will play an important role in keeping Edmonton safe. Well, coming up, World Cup fever in Windsor.
My kids say a little bit too much. I think they put a stop when I wanted to decorate the cap.
There is a neighborly battle to claim the title of biggest FIFA fan.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you tonight on CTV.
There were some iconic Canadians on hand to cheer on Canada's men's team.
It is our honor with a U to welcome you.
Actor Will Arnett introduced the parade of flags of each competing country ahead of kickoff. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds was also among the familiar faces at the game, along with actor Mike Myers, who was decked out in red. While they may not be world famous, there are some fans in Windsor neighborhood definitely making a name for themselves. They're proudly displaying their allegiance in multiple ways. CTV's Bob Belichico has more.
Welcome to World Cup fever, which has gripped the Underwood home in Forest Glade.
A little, over-exaggerated, but it's perfect. It works out.
My kids say it's a little bit too much. I think they put a stop when I wanted to decorate the cat, so.
As you walk up to the Underwood door, you'll be greeted by England royalty, Harry Kane. Originally from the UK, Underwood wanted to decorate her home to help bring people together amid the turmoil around the world.
It's just so much fun. All the different nationalities, we all get together. Yes, we fight, we argue, but when it comes to football, best time.
She has the flags of all of the teams competing in the World Cup in a window planter.
As the game progresses, the flags, unfortunately, are going to come out one by one.
Underwood has the tournament schedule on her garage, group stage until June 27th. She even put in the scores from yesterday's games. There are also flags surrounding the house and cool little trinkets, too. Underwood says she's going to change the car flags when Canada is playing, which could become a problem later in the tournament.
I'd just take it off, put another one on.
But if Canada and England meet,
she's going to support England.
I'm going to have to drive 2 cars. Eduardo's going to come with me.
Eduardo is a neighbor from across the street.
This is like a kind of a no-no, but gotta love thy neighbor.
A big Portugal fan with Portuguese genes, he and his twin brother Mario appreciate what Underwood has done to her home.
It's nice to find people that have that same level of commitment and love for the game.
The trio proudly display their allegiance with flags on their cars. Portugal has never won the World Cup. England won it back in 1966. Laughter arises when I refer to the familiar England slogan, "It's coming home."
I refuse to say that right now.
I'll say it. Portugal's bringing it home.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Beautiful weekend on the way. 22 degrees tomorrow. We'll still see some clouds in the morning, but they'll clear out by midday. Some sunshine tomorrow afternoon. 25 on Sunday. It'll be sunny pretty much all day Sunday. Late afternoon, you might see a really isolated shower or thunderstorm in the area. 25 again Monday. A little better chance for some late day showers and thunderstorms. And then it gets a little cool and unsettled again after that. Chance of showers every single day next week. Temperatures in the mid to high teens from Tuesday through Friday. I think Wednesday is probably the best bet for some rain. Summer starts, though, not this weekend, but next weekend. And it actually looks like the first week of summer has some sustained heat. So you can hold out hope for that.
So get out this weekend. Enjoy the outdoors. Enjoy the rest of your evening. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you. Have a great week.